Hey there, Mr. Johnson. It is Friday, February 17th. As for your books, Cat's Cradle is an incredibly good book. It's an incredibly fast book. I finished it in a day. But it has a really good message and great things to think about. In my humble opinion, The Fountainhead was about 500 pages too long, and I don't really agree with Rand's philosophy, but it was definitely a worthwhile experience to read. And I haven't read more than an excerpt of The Jungle, but it seems really nasty. As for your K-pop question, that was a very strange conclusion for you to come to. I'm not gonna lie. Your lead up to the question was really good. I was like, yeah, maybe he'll ask something really interesting, and then, do they want to be Western? That's not really the conclusion I'd come to. But since you asked, allow me to explain. First of all, I'd compare their minimal use of English in their pop songs to the use of Spanish in songs by Enrique Iglesias and Ricky Martin and the like. When you're singing a trite pop song, it just seems appropriate to say girl, baby, lady. One of the things that you do learn about in musicology and music history is that music develops to reflect the language, and so because pop music was developed to reflect the way English is sung, it's a lot easier to sing it in English than in other languages. Which is why Chang Ki-ha and the Faces are so interesting, because they definitely draw from a Western rock tradition, but the way that they sing is so typically Korean. Like, the way that they use the language in their songs is just almost impossible to translate to English. Which brings me to my second point, the pizza metaphor. When you buy a pizza in Korea, it will most likely have corn on it. One of the preferred Korean pizzas has sweet potatoes and mustard on it. And it is not uncommon to find a pizza with mayonnaise on it. It's not that they're trying to do something very Western and getting it wrong. It's that they enjoy the exoticism of the Western tradition, and they also want to make it distinctly their own. And they do the same thing with pop music. They definitely draw from the Western style, but they still make it Korean. Finally, pop songs use a very casual speech style which you wouldn't really recognize unless you spoke Korean, but it's definitely like intimate casual, not the way you'd speak to anybody except your best friends and or boyfriend girlfriend. And there's a lot of Konglish in casual Korean speech. Basically, they don't want to be Western any more than Americans want to be, well, any other culture we appropriate. They still want to be Korean, they just like doing this in their pop music. So I hope that answered your question. I'm glad you still enjoy K-pop music, and Tim, I will see you on Monday.